Alrighty, traders. Let's have a look at the stock market. I'm going to be looking at just the short-term and technical analysis of the stock market. Plus, also be looking at gold and silver and just the markets, what's happening right now. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. So let's get straight into today's training. The one thing that I'm noticing right now when it comes to these markets is that on a very absolute short term, check this out. Okay, check this out. So we are right now in the midst of a bit of a short term downward movement through here. But check this out. Look what's happening through here. So right now for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we've done nothing here. Now, for you intraday traders, this is powerful. Why? Because for you intraday traders, like myself, I do intraday trading, so such as the futures markets or whatever. If we go to our hourly charts, look at this here. If we go to our hourly charts, look what's happening. We're doing what? We're doing absolutely nothing. If you guys have been following me for quite some time, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing means we're about to vacate that area, right? When it does nothing, especially like this here. This is an hourly chart, remember? So therefore, this actually could produce, or this is going to produce a very nice move in the direction. And therefore, like for me personally, when I see this here, I'm always looking to see, okay, where are we likely to break? Because if we do break up, then we could start to see quite a nice move up. But these last 1, 2, 3, 4 days here, is really just holding the market quite strongly. Now, here's the thing is that, again, this is short-term technical analysis, okay, guys, short-term TA, is that we are holding here. And if we do actually break down like that, then the market is probably after having this sort of rest here, we're probably likely to see something like that in the markets. So again, this is just short-term TA. We haven't actually gotten that yet, but we are holding here. So we're getting ready for, once we start to break, we're probably going to go in that direction for quite some time. So you can see we're going sideways all through here. So very, very sort of strong pattern through there. Same for the Nasdaq as well too, is the Nasdaq has actually ran up and we're just going sideways through here. This is actually a dream for you, again, intraday traders. This is a dream because if you know what to look for on those shorter time frame charts, the 1 minute, 5 minutes, maybe even the 15-minute charts, and you get something like this, the shorter time frame charts, there could be some really, really, really incredible moves coming up over the next few days for you guys. So, especially my private clients, keep watching out for those. Keep watching out for those setups there. And if you'd like to learn my actual trading setup that I'm actually talking about, I'm giving it away for free. Just go to johnsfreetraining.com and you can get access to that for free. Let's go to the Dow Jones and look what's happening with the DJ. Right, the DJ is actually starting to slowly break out here. Interesting, right? So we're slowly starting to break out here. If I go to my hourly charts, we're not really getting that sideways movement. We're just slowly sort of going up through here. So let's just do this from there to there. Yeah, interesting. Look at that there. We're actually starting to slowly, right now anyway, we're just starting to slowly try and break above this resistance line through here. So we are starting to get a little bit of a breakout again, but it's not as much of a sideways movement as I like when it comes to the other markets, as it goes like the S&P 500 and stuff like that. You can see here just sideways movement. So I'm very, very, very excited about that sort of movement in the market. We are actually, or the market actually is still open. We're still at half an hour before close, so anything can happen. But we are getting actually a bit of a bid in the home builder index. But the home builder index is actually now in a bit of a short-term downtrend. So this is actually a place where I'm actually possibly looking for a short signal. There's a lot of short setups that I'm looking for. And I don't know why, but I'm looking for my trading system is I'm looking for a lot of short setups because this is what's happening where we are in the market. So we're actually getting a strong move down and now we're just going sideways. So if I bring up, say, that hourly, that 1 year worth of data, look what's happening through here. So it's really interesting that the home builder index has actually got slammed and now we're just going sideways through here. So there's a lot of things that have been getting hammered these last month or so I do expect to see, after a bit of a shake and bake, I do expect to see incredible moves to the upside, like a new high coming. There's just too much negative pessimism out there for that to happen. But when we're in these environments, we still can get more downside. But overall, traders, again, overall, I do see a lot more upside to come. I just don't know when that's gonna kick in. Whether it's gonna be now, or whether it's gonna be the second quarter of this year, or maybe even the second half of this year. So, but I do expect to see new highs coming by the end of this year. But once again, right now, traders, we're just going sideways. We had a move down, and we're just going sideways through here. If we have a look at the financial sector has actually been quite sort of flat. We've had like a pretty strong support level through there. We did actually come back down, strong down, and we're actually getting a strong bounce these last few weeks through here. And and again, we're sort of just hovering around sort of this level through here. So you can see we've just basically been channeling out of this level through here. In fact, let's go have a look at some actual bank stocks right now. So looking at Goldman Sachs actually looks quite weak. You can see, so check this out. There's actually a bit of a round top here, right? So we've got a round top, got a up, and now look at this here, come back down. So the Goldman Sachs sector, we had a bit of a gap down. Now we're actually rallying back up. So this actually could be getting ready for a bit of a rollover soon, because we are in a bit of we've broken these lows through here. So it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens if we get a bit of downward movement. Let's have a look at JP Morgan now. JP Morgan's doing the same thing. We actually ripped a lower low, and now we're actually rallying up. So we could actually be getting a lower high here soon in the markets here. So this actually could be some sort of change in trend in JP Morgan. Let's go have a look at Citibank. Citibank's actually pretty flat. Like it's sort of just a bit of a squeezing up sort of motion, but there's nothing really strong there with Citibank. And let's go have a look at Bank of America. And Bank of America is actually looking. This actually looks exactly like the XLF, which is the financial sector. So but the other big ones. Actually, I forgot Morgan Stanley, didn't I? Yeah, Morgan Stanley. And Morgan Stanley is actually pretty flat. So we're getting some of the big banks, such as JP Morgan, so on and so forth, actually sort of flattening out through there. So it's going to be really interesting to see where we actually get a breakout or not. Let's go have a look at, say, some of the mining sector right now. So the mining sector that I'm looking at is that we're getting a little bit of a, after getting a little bit of a move to the support level, we actually held the support level. Now we're actually getting a rally back up. So we're still getting a rally back up, but we're still in an overall downward trend, and it's very dangerous. I know a lot of traders on this move up here, they started to go long because they thought it's going to break out, and now we're dropping back down. Is this another one of those things? So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens here on the GDXJ. GDX actually didn't break its support, but once again, we're still, if you really look at the mining sector, right, we're just stuck in this sideways range through here. And that's actually pretty powerful, as I was saying before, right? Like you have these periods where the market doesn't do anything. The good thing about that is that when it breaks, we tend to get some really significant moves in the markets. If we have a look at the SILJ, it's had a lower low through here. It's had a rip down, and now we're just sort of trending up through here. So if we do start to roll over and start to create a lower high, we could be getting ready for something like that. So, and then also the SILJ. And again, traders really get cranky with me when I talk about this sort of stuff. Like traders, I'm just using the technical analysis to read what the market's telling me, and that's just it. If you guys want me to say, oh, everything's fine and the market's going to go up and so on and so forth. So, again, we have a low, a lower low. What's in a downtrend? Lower lows and lower highs. So if we do get a lower high here and we roll over, that actually could be quite bad for the markets there, for the mining sector. Again, guys, short-term technical analysis. If you don't like your short-term trading and you're a fundamental trader and you're a buy and holder, then you shouldn't be watching this video. So we can see here that we have a high. Again, we're just squeezing up through here. The one thing that I really like is the gold chart, because out of all the markets, guys, we should be focusing on gold the most. Gold in the mining sector, but really gold. Why? Because gold, once it starts, its next move, it's going to be crazy. Now, I don't know where that's going to be, right? It could be up, could be down. I do believe this decade's going to be incredible for gold because we know inflation's not going to stop, right? We know that inflation's not transitory, like they keep telling us, all that sort of stuff. It's going to transitory and it's going to calm down and so on and so forth. You know, it's interesting is, I know a lot of traders out there, right? Like they've been trading based off that narrative of, the inflation is transitory. And so a lot of traders being, the Fed said inflation is transitory, so therefore, we're going to, it's going to be okay. And so investors make decisions, and then now after all that time, now they realize the Fed has no idea what they're doing. They're actually starting to pull out, and they're starting to make some a bit different decisions because they realize inflation is not transitory. And we are going to continue moving in a massive inflation environment. Now, again, I'm going back to higher, bigger time frame here, traders. So again, gold should overall make very nice moves throughout the rest of this next 3 or 4 years. When the market does crash, gold will go down with it, but then after the next crash and then the next bull market, the next wins are going to be gold and silver and so on and so forth. And so you got to see commodity prices go through absolutely just nuts. Why? One of the reasons why, guys, is that it's just a cycle thing, right? Last decade was horrible for commodities and miners. This decade, it's going to go through another mining boom, right? It's a yin and the yang thing. It's very, 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 very simple. And also inflation, we're going to go through a massive inflation like we did back in the 80s, 70s, 80s. We're going to go through that again. And that also means we're going to go through massive interest rates again. So the good thing about the old days, which is like, what's the word for it? About savers, right? The whole thing, savers are losers and so on and so forth, all that sort of stuff, right? Because if you put your money in the bank, you're not going to get nothing for it and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? Our kids that are growing up right now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to be able to go to the bank again and get a guaranteed, 4 or 5% return. And if you have millions of dollars behind you, you can actually start to get like a 10 or 15% guaranteed return from the banks. You're going to start to see those numbers again, right? Because what was is not what is, right? But what was a very, my mentor always used to say, if you could have $3 million and put in the bank, you got a guaranteed you could probably get $150,000 to $300,000 guaranteed coming in every single year for the rest of your life. That's obviously a 10% return from the bank. Now, obviously, that was back in the 20, 30 years ago. Now you can't really do that, or maybe you can. They give you that sort of guaranteed return, but again, that's actually. So I was just thinking out aloud just then. So therefore, guys, traders, I do see big inflation. So this is the big picture on the gold prices here. Gold prices, we are likely to see very, very big moves up. But on the short-term traders, anything can happen. But the long-term picture, with especially inflation behind it, we're likely to see some big moves. So whatever you want to do, but whatever you position yourself, if you're a short-term traders, well, you need to have some sort of a pattern. If you are short-term trading, man, you're getting in today, you're looking at the market, you're making a decision today, and you're getting out tomorrow, or you're getting in today and you're holding for a few days. You need to have some sort of a pattern. All right, you need to have something that you're following, not just a think or thought. Right? I don't think or thought at all. I'm just going based off what the market is doing right now. And then I make a decision based off what the market is doing right now. Because at the end of the day, no one knows exactly what's going to happen. And the best thing to do is, if you are a trader of the market, you need to have some sort of a pattern. If you don't have that, then go over to my website, johnsfreetrading.com, get access to my free training, and I'll walk you through all the details to my pattern. At least actually start getting started on some sort of a pattern. If you're just trading based off a whim, right? It's like, oh my goodness, this looks like it's going to go up. Let's buy. Or let's short this, or let's do this without any sort of foundation to what you're doing, which means you're just buying based off a tip. Well, the 90-90 rule, right? 90% of you are going to blow your account up in 90 days. And I don't want that for you, right? I want you to be around for a long, long, long time. And so that's what I want you to be focusing on from there. So anyway, traders, that's it for me today, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.